Yes. All right, people, it is time for the drop. We're talking music. We're talking vinyl. Coming to you from Cactus Music headquarters in beautiful Houston, Texas. Quinn, do you have the list?
I got the list.
Let's
We're dropping it on them right now.
Drop
you ready?
it.
Here it is. The brand new Charlie XCX record is Brat. This is her 6th album. Her last album, Crash, was #1 in the UK. I think it might have been here too. What you need to know, she's going back to her roots. This is a very dance music oriented record. It's very clubby, very dancey. And that's how she started. She started like performing at raves and stuff like that. Yep. So it's her getting back to her roots. Have you seen her do these pop-up dance parties?
No.
So she was on tour in Europe and she would just be like in some parking lot, like she'd announce it like an hour beforehand and like thousands of people show up. She's like, dancing and performing and raving.
She's one of those kind of like guilty pleasure listens for me.
She's cool, man.
Yeah.
She's a great writer. Maybe you saw her perform live at Cactus.
Get out.
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
And she's
everybody's been on this stage.
And she's signed autographs a couple of times here too.
That's fantastic. You had a listening party.
We had a listening party. Yeah. And I got to think, tell me what you think. I think that her male fans are probably a little disappointed in the album art this time around. Right?
Yes, because she's known for
her provocative
album
art. So
she's a lovely young lady.
She's very cool. She's awesome with fans. I wish her all the success in the world.
Come back to Cactus, Charlie, if you're listening.
Back. She might.
I hope so.
Might. She's skipping Houston. She's playing Dallas. It's her only Texas show. She'll come back.
Trust me, she'll come back. All right.
Next up, we get the
cool
Suicide
record.
Boys. Their long-awaited new record. This is New World Depression.
My daughter loves these guys.
Their 4th album. New Orleans, very respected hip-hop duo. I think that what sets them apart is the lyrical content is probably a little intense for some people, maybe disturbing, but it's just all about like the dark stuff. It's all out there, and they're whether it's substance abuse or trauma or whatever's going on with them, they are a very hard-hitting lyrical group, and I think that's what keeps them so relevant. This is Indie Store exclusive. This is opaque gray vinyl. The regular version is green.
Love it. And
I think the cover is super cool, right?
It's very cool.
It's very cool. I think you're gonna be hearing about this record all year long. They're a big deal.
Yeah, they sold out that show at White Oak a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. This is a fun release. This is 2 new records by Future and Metro Boomin. We Don't Trust You, and We Still Don't Trust You. These are CD only for now. Vinyl will come later. They've been working together since 2013. Track like that. Kendrick, other A-list guys are on this, but this is their first like full-blown collaboration. And I guess it was fruitful enough that they came out with 2 at once. But,
I think, and unless I am mistaken, but I think Future currently holds the record for hip hop artist that has charted the most times.
I think
he's incredibly even if you open Apple Music and just look at the list, it's like
he's wildly prolific.
It goes forever. Good for him, man. And I like his stuff.
This is an interesting project because, of course, this is actually out last week. So there's a lot of reviews out there, and people either love it or hate it, which makes you think that there's something going on there. You can listen to it and decide for yourself.
Yeah, what's going on is haters. That's what's going on.
Haters are going. There's always going to be them.
Going on.
There's always going to be them. Okay, hey, let's take it back to Texas and California. This is Texicali, the new album from Dave Alvin and Jimmy Dale Gilmore, 2 of the most respected names in Americana or country rock, whatever you want to call it. Dave Alvin from the Blasters and Jimmy Dale Gilmore from Lubbock's own the Flatlanders. And the song cycle here is really about Texas and California.
Perfect.
Super great record. They're coming up. They're going to be playing at the Heights Theater coming up soon. That is 8/1. They're in August 1st. So you can go see them live. Good show. I mean, Jimmy has one of the most mournful voices. Like he really is, missing link to Hank Williams Sr. Vocally, and worth checking out. It's a cool record. And John Langford of the Mekons did the artwork. His artwork is very identifiable. It's so great.
It's really great. And we have to shout out Heights Theater. They've been booking some great
they really have a lot of great
shows.
stuff coming through there. All right, one thing we get to do on the drop, which I love so much, I get to talk about like my favorite recording artists. Brand new record from Paul Weller. You know him from the Jam Style Council. He's one of the architects of punk rock This is his 17th album. It's called 66. Sir Peter Blake, that did Sgt. Pepper artwork and worked for the Beatles. Where's his name right there? He did this artwork. And man, it is kind of a meditative, reflective, cool album from him. He made my favorite album during the pandemic, just before the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic. But he's really, man, on a tear artistically. And this record is terrific. Check it out if you haven't heard one from him in a while. And he's actually playing dates in the U.S. I think I'm going to go see him in Minneapolis. I don't think he's played here in like 15 years, other than like New York or L.A. or something. So,
yeah, definitely cool artwork. And you can get this one on limited edition blue vinyl.
Yeah. All right, another one of my favorites. Again, not coming to Houston. I'm going to have to go see him in Chicago, I think.
I'm starting to see a trend here. I don't like it.
It is difficult to get.
I don't like it.
Here's the thing. With summer tours, nobody wants to go where it's 100 degrees.
No,
and drive around in a van when they can go play a festival up north, get paid probably 3 times what your standard gig for a festival, get fed, get put up. It's too good of a deal. That's why people don't come to Texas. And Crowded House, not coming to Texas, but they have a brand new record, Gravity Stairs. This is the second album where really the band has morphed into being a family band. It's the great Neil Finn and his 2 sons, Elroy and Liam, are in the band.
Very talented musicians.
Yeah, and along with the brilliant producer Mitchell Froome, who's produced countless records.
This is talked about Mitchell before.
Really great record if you're a fan. This is single Teenage Summer and Oh Hi, both great tracks. And worthy of your time if you're a fan of Beatles inspired. And the cover even looks a little bit like Revolver. Exactly right. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
A little homage.
The homage. We like our homage.
Good stuff on the list today, baby.
Oh man, and this record is awesome. This is Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. This is No Worries, Why Lord. And this record, I just love Anderson .Paak. He's coming off the amazing Silk Sonic project with Bruno Mars, and this kind of it's got his he really kind of does that 70s bedroom soul romantic stuff so well.
His voice is perfect.
His voice is perfect, but there's this track on here that's got Snoop Dogg on it, and it's I played it over and over, just cracking up because, of course, Snoop Dogg's got.
I haven't heard this one.
He's got the talkover part, and Anderson .Paak's talking about how bad things are, when his lady's not there and all this stuff. He's like, "I'll tell you what's worth." Snoop Dogg's like, "I'll tell you what's worth." And they come home, the door's locked. It just goes up. It's rad. It's great. Also has a great. This is my favorite song title of the year, 86 Centra. Very enjoyable record.
That is fantastic.
I'm all about Anderson .Paak. I think it's cool. Get some new music from him.
He's a slamming drummer too.
He is.
God.
Brand new record from Meghan Trainor. This is Timeless. Can you believe it has been 10 years since All About That Bass?
Yeah.
And so, of course, she's getting a lot of attention. The track "Been Like This" is terrific. You got T-Pain on there. It's got a bunch of guests. It's a solid record, danceable, upbeat pop stuff that she's known for. And
you don't see Niecy Nash featured on very many records, so shout out to her.
Shout out,
because I do love Niecy Nash.
And she's playing. I think she's at the Woodlands later this summer. Yeah. So go see her. I can't remember the last time
she was on. Was she on Jimmy Fallon? I think she was on Jimmy Fallon couple of nights ago.
She's cool, man. I dig her because she's just one of those, like, you can tell she's like a positive force. Like, people want to be around her. Great energy. We need good energy, do we not?
100%.
Okay, this is a cool record. This is John Mook, and I hope I'm saying that right. His album is Flying Away. This is on Easy Eye Sound, which is Dan Auerbach's label. He produced the record. And what you need to know about him, he's Ugandan-born artist, pop, soulful pop guy, bluesy at times. He's actually from Austin, and he is playing the summer circuit, festival circuit, all over the place this summer. So you might catch him if you're traveling to go see some music. This is a very cool record. It's got a great, easy vibe to it. Perfect summer listening. Strong recommendation here.
Yeah. I have to interrupt the flow because we have a communication problem with our producer. But hey, give me 5 when we're to the end, okay? So anyway, sorry, because
all right,
we don't want to ramble on. All of a sudden, the show ends.
I think they call that an audible. Is that what that is?
Yes,
something like that. Okay.
I had to explain audible to my dear friend Margot.
Oh wow, that's I thought
And
everybody got
no.
that. No, okay, all right.
She said, like the books? No.
No. Well, we got an audible for you right now.
Hit it.
The new Habibi album, Dream Machine. Have you heard this thing?
I haven't heard it yet.
Dude, it's solid. It is Tony Tiger great. It's like kind of surf rock, Middle Eastern, female vocals. It's kind of dancey. It reminds me a lot of the Pixies. It's very good, very guitar forward, but then also kind of dreamy, like Cocteau Twinsy. Man, it's getting rave reviews. I think this is their third record. You got to hear this thing. Right. It's super great. Ruben's taking a photo.
So this is how I remind myself, because when I'm going through my pictures,
I do the same
like,
thing.
oh yeah.
And now we have a Jessica Pratt. This is Here in the Pitch. She's a British vocalist and very much in the like a late 60s folk pop kind of vein, very influenced by 60s singer-songwriters. She's on Mexican Summer, which is very, very cool, like indie rock label. She's awesome. This record is super cool. Again, chilly folk pop record. Great for, I think, we're picking all your summer listening.
Oh,
right
this
now.
is your summer listening right here.
We're doing this for you.
100%.
But fans were flipping out about this record. It's been a little while for her, and like the last record sold pretty well over time, and then this one came out, and everybody's like, the new Jessica Pratt record. So
I love it.
I love it. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work, right?
I love it.
Next up, Zayn. The Room Under the Stairs is his new record. This is the fourth solo record from him. It's produced by David Cobb, who's traditionally a country Americana producer. He's produced everybody.
Massive.
Of course, you know him from One Direction. You know, he's the first.
We did his last record, right? We right when he put out his last record.
Yeah.
I remember we had it on the drop.
And he's the first. This is kind of cool. He's the first British male singer to have a number one debut single in the UK. It was that Pillow Talk song, which was a big track. This is cool, man. He's a great singer. He lives in the States now, so he might be more visible than Harry.
Well, this is a first limited edition color vinyl, forest green with neon splatter.
That sounds good.
Come on.
I like the cover art. Cover art's cool too.
It is cool. It's kind of 70s.
All right, this is our last new release. This is Death Jokes by Amen Dunes. Sub Pop Loser Edition, limited edition, indie store, colored vinyl. Singer-songwriter really kind of emerged just before the pandemic. This record is more electronic than the previous record. He really got a lot of press, but I think it's kind of dark wavy. It's kind of by me saying electronic, I mean it's not like bleeps and bloops. It's more like Depeche Mode, which that's not even a good comparison. I don't know. You're just gonna check
basically buy it, listen to it.
Yeah, and so he wrote these songs during the pandemic. It's a little dark, but it's a cool record. It's a cool record. Check it out.
Come and get your love.
Let's talk. We've got a record here that's finally on vinyl. Finally, this guy. His records are he's so underserved with his music being on record.
Are you going to read the title of the?
You are going to read the title. This is Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
His latest album, which is out on CD and digital a few months ago. Now you can get it on a record.
I love this. Is not the art that I would expect for Bad Bunny.
I don't think anybody
This is left field. Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana. No one knows what is going to happen tomorrow. That's the translation. See, I am good for something on this show.
That is good. Yeah, you are. That's so.
The explosion, the meteoric rise, the full-blown takeover of Bad Bunny is pretty impressive.
It's pretty impressive, and it happened so quickly. I think music stores were taken aback by it. So, like, we were on it, right?
Yeah,
because
of course.
Like, we are.
This is ground zero.
We are, and
this is Area 51.
So we were buying up everything because none of the other stores were stocking it.
Yeah,
maybe no. I'm sure there's some out there.
Right, I know what you mean. Yeah,
we had people just like, they couldn't find it anywhere, and we were
got it.
We were big in the Big Bunny business.
Cornered the market.
We did. We bought as much as we get, but this is the only records you can get right now. So that's good.
Yeah,
we got them.
Yeah. I'm excited about this.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is David Bowie. This is rock and roll star. And what you need to know about this? This is God. All music from the Ziggy Stardust sessions, and it's outtakes, it's demos, it's they did one earlier you might be familiar with. It was all from Hunky Dory. He did this for, I guess he's doing it for all his big records.
This is dead.
Bigger records, but this is, I mean, obviously
it's a lot to just hold it up.
Yeah. So Ziggy Stardust, obviously his most famous work,
Yes.
and this is like all the stuff that goes with it. Super deluxe book, and check it out if you buy it at Cactus. Look at this cool reimagining of the album art that we've got with Bowie standing in the alley holding the big guitar.
Frame that.
And it's not just a box set. There's also a single LP that's got the best tracks from it that were unreleased. So you can pick that up from us, and we'll give you one of these ready to frame art prints. Here's
chicken
a great
dinner.
Great tidbit you need to know about that. I think I've talked about it on the drop before. Before Bowie passed, he knew he was terminally ill. He coordinated all of his posthumous releases and locked them down legally to where they have to do everything the way he wanted it done. He curated everything.
Genius.
And it's still going.
Genius.
Still going. Yeah, genius, no doubt. Okay, now this is a fun one. This is really interesting. These records were very, very valuable records. This is before the hit years. This is Luther Vandross. And before he became a, love man, crooner, megastar with Sony 80s. Music, he made 2 records. This was his band. His band was called Luther. And there they are right there in the back. He's in the middle. And
I love that.
Yeah. And
I've never seen that.
This record, these records were very expensive records. And the reason why,
look how metal that logo is.
Total metal, right? Once he hit it big, he used his money. He bought these masters and buried them and put them out of print. He did not want them out there.
Oh, because he didn't think it was up to like the material
for
he was
whatever.
doing.
He just I don't know why, but you don't really see that too often. But these are records from 1975 and 1976 on the Cotillion label, which was an Atlantic imprint. And he bought the masters and retired them. Well, now I think
they have resurfaced,
and you can buy them on CD as well. It's cool. It's good to have them back.
He should have talked to Bowie.
He should have talked to Bowie. Yeah, he would have got it. He would have got it figured out that way.
Maybe they talked all the time. I don't know.
Here's a band I don't think we have ever talked about.
I think you're absolutely right.
I don't think we've ever talked about them. I feel like there's stuff we do over and over.
But here we go.
We've never talked about the Squirrel Nuts.
Never,
ever. This is their album perennial favorites. Easy for me to say. The swing. Remember the swing craze of the late '90s?
Yeah.
They were in there. They were in there. They were actually one of the rootsier, more interesting bands of that era. I think people generally think of this, even though it didn't have the big hit single on it, as their best, most fully realized record. It's never been on vinyl before, so now you can pick it up.
There was like a little reunion thing with them, not that long ago. I think because I saw them on like. For some reason, I don't know why, but if I see one of those festival posters, and now it can be in Prague, but on social media I will like zoom it up on my phone and read everybody. I don't know why. It's like I'm not going.
Last night with my wife, we were looking at festivals in the summer and looking at who's on there. But so anyways, that one's back in the bins if you want to check it out. So this is exciting.
Tell me.
We're going to talk about 2 salsa, Latin jazz essential records. One being the Joe Cuba Sextet.
See, this I don't know.
So this is the record that kind of launched the whole salsa explosion in the United States. Cheo Feliciano sings the big hit on here. There's several actually big tunes that were big, but this became the template for salsa just blowing up in the U.S. in 1964. This is a big record. El Raton.
Oh, El Raton, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Who this dude's covered.
Yes. And this is on the Tico label, which released tons of great salsa records. We never see this record come in. It's an expensive record if you can find it. So now you can buy it upgraded, sounding good, pressed well.
Wow.
You need some salsa music. You might not know.
You need some of this in your life. People.
And you probably need this one as well. This is The Big Break. This is one of Willie Colon's most famous albums.
So
with Hector Lavoe.
Yeah. Hector Lavoe, Willie Colon. It's like you can't. I don't know that there's a bad album they made, or it's just put it on, move the furniture out of the way, and it's time to dance.
Yes, on the Fania label. Now, I was going to point these out to you. You got to read. These are hilarious. If you read, it's like his tip sheet, his
rap sheet, like they put out an APB on the guy or whatever. And it's like, look, he could be armed. Approach with caution.
At the post office.
This is fantastic.
But let's see. He was last seen in New York City. He may be accompanied by one Hector Lavoe, occupation singer, also very dangerous man with his voice.
Whoa, we got 5 minutes.
We got it.
I love that. We got 5 minutes.
So anyways,
I'm setting the timer.
You need some salsa music. Check it out. These are two of the greats. And this record actually comes with a poster in it.
A wanted poster.
A wanted poster, indeed.
Is it time to dip into the vault?
We're going to the vault.
Let's go to the vault. It's time for the vinyl vault, y'all. Oh, look at this. We've got new graphics. Oh. You scared me. All right. So here we go. So
you know it's coming, but you never really expect it, do you?
You're not ready for it. We've talked about, of course, Rush many, many, many times. They've issued box sets, reissues, limited, all everything that like a lot of the legacy bands have been doing of late.
They do it really, really well.
These guys are so good. But so we're going to this is Rush Moving Pictures, and the reason this one is in the vinyl vault because I remember buying the album, but I remember how excited everybody I knew was to go see this show. And I remember being at this concert. It was at the same Houston Coliseum, and it was like me, all your friends, everybody you wanted to be there, kind of a situation. And literally everybody was there. Like the next day at school, everybody wore this T-shirt. Everybody wore this T-shirt.
So do you remember? So like Permanent Waves was huge, right? Like everybody was all in on it. But it was like the perfect setup for this because everybody was crazy about Permanent Waves, and then the minute everybody knew this record was coming, it was like
just side one by itself. Is Tom Sawyer, Red Barchetta, YYZ, and Limelight.
Yeah, half of this record was a standard on FM radio. Like they were playing.
It's still being played.
So I remember on 101, so it was coming out. Music comes out on a Friday, and I think they played the entire album. I mean, music comes out on a Tuesday. I think they played it the Saturday before, like the album in its entirety.
Yes.
On like Saturday night, and people were like, I remember my buddies were like, "Oh, we gotta listen to the Rush album. What are we doing?" Like,
did you see that show by any chance?
I did not.
Okay, so. There's little to no ventilation in the Sam Houston Coliseum, and there's this cloud of smoke from everybody lighting up everything and anything, and it just, you can imagine. Anyway, it was like a giant Cheech and Chong movie, and we're waiting, the anticipation's building, the crowd is loud, people are talking, all of a sudden the lights go down, the crowd roars, and it's the theme to the Three Stooges.
Oh, that's right.
However, I can't do it, but you know what I mean. And it was just perfect. And then the curtains opened, and obviously, Getty and Alex.
Well, and they were blowing up at that. That was too small of a venue for them, but they had already booked like that tour by the time it was. But they were. It was crazy, and and after that, they would never play a venue that small.
Yes, and we lost for about 2 hours. We lost one of the guys that came with us. He just kind of disappeared into the crowd, and we couldn't find him until the lights went on, and we had to wait for like half of the place to for the crowd to leave because we couldn't find him. There were other factors involved that caused him to drift away from the crowd, the people he was supposed to hang with. All right, next week we've got more cool stuff coming your way on the drop. There's going to be vinyl. There's going to be we'll probably talk about some upcoming shows. There might be some surprises at Cactus. You never know. These guys do not disappoint. You need to follow them on the Instagram at Cactus Music. I'm Ruben Dominguez. That's Quinn Bishop. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Doing some jazz hands there.